Archery is dangerous, people. Do it at your own, risk and stuff.
Hey, this is Eric with the Posted Hawk here with Chris. Chris makes PVC bows. Definitely something I wanted to get into because PVC bows are cheaper and lighter, and you can make them from things you find around. So, Chris, what's your YouTube channel, first of all?
My YouTube channel is Tenshi Risu. Tenshirisu. It means angel squirrel. I came up with it in college like 12 years ago, and I haven't changed it because I'm not a grown-up.
That's good. What got you into PVC bow making?
Well, I really, for a very long time, I had meant to get into archery, just archery. I wasn't really all that necessarily interested in making bows, but like, even back in college, like at OSU, I don't know if you ever saw it, but I went by like, the pawn shop, and I was like, ooh, a bow! And I bought it for like $80 because I was 18 and I could buy whatever I wanted and nobody could say otherwise. I never actually fired it because I kept reading online like it has to be this and this. You have to get all these things. So I gave that away to a friend who does bow hunting. Hopefully he got great use out of it. And for a very long time, I just really didn't think about archery at all. And then, I suppose it's fair to say that archery's pop culture resurgence got it back in my head. The
Hunger
things
Games,
like the Hunger Games,
right?
Everybody knows that one. There's that, and then there's Hawkeye and the Avengers. Yeah, there's that. First, I was looking at stuff on making a bow out of wood, which was difficult, but not so difficult that I'm like, oh, I can't do it. I was like, hey, I can do this. Apparently, anyone can do this. If you have a college education, you should be able to do it because plenty of people with no education did it for a very long time. On YouTube, I came across the channel for a guy who calls himself the Backyard Bowyer. He's also got some ebooks on Amazon. They're pretty good. I picked them up. Nicholas Tomehama, he was out of Hawaii. I think he's in like Washington or something. But he's got like hundreds of videos on how to make bows out of plastic plumbing pipes. So I went out and I bought like a $20 Wagner heat gun. I bought a couple of feet of 3/4 inch Schedule 40 PVC pipe and some scrap 2x4s. And then you just heat up the plastic, you form it, you make some cuts with a hacksaw, and you can just use just a 550 paracord line. That'll work just fine for the first couple of bows, save you money. But for most of my bows, and I've made 27 now.
Nice.
Most of the bows I buy like a commercial like B50 Dacron string from Amazon, and it's the most expensive part of the bow. It's $5.
Nice. How much would, not including the tools you bought initially, but now that you've got all the tools, how much money and time invested into each bow?
Okay, now that I've got the tools that I use, just materials on a bow itself, assuming you have what you need, and honestly, you don't really need to buy many tools. You can do this off your stove.
Right.
But after that, like a 5-foot section of pipe is like, depending on where the Home Depot or Heckinger's or where you are and where you buy it, it's like $3 to $4 for the pipe. You go ahead and heat it and form it. You go ahead and cut some nocks into it, and if you use paracord, I'm not sure how much that goes for, like 5 feet worth of paracord. 99 cents
at an Army surplus store.
Yeah, so you could make a 70-pound bow, which is way more than you'll probably, for hunting you need like 45, 55 pounds. You can make a 45, 55-pound bow for less than $5.
That's amazing. Okay, who do you recommend if they want to go watch instructionals?
If you want to watch instructionals, the Backyard Bowyer. That's all just one word on YouTube. Backyard Bowyer. B-O-W-Y-E-R for people who can't spell.
And what's your YouTube channel again?
Tenshi Risu. Tenshirisu.
Angel Squirrel.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, we're going to set up the cameras again, and we're going to actually watch him shoot some of the bows he brought today.
All right, guys. I brought 3 bows to share with my friend here at the Posted Hawk. This is a bow that I made last Christmas for my mother. This one is a scant 30 pounds at 28 inches. It's a very light bow. So in a lot of states, minimum hunting weight for deer and any other animal is 30 pounds. So as light as this is, if you get close enough, you'll kill something. And in case anybody wasn't clear, these are not toys. They will kill you. Don't point them at people. Other safety things, not responsible, blah, blah, blah. Something to keep in mind is that here on this crisp November day, it is what, in the 40s, almost 30s?
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're almost to freezing.
PVC plumbing pipe does not necessarily respond well to extremes in heat and cold. Right now, this is a 30-pound bow. It's drawing a little bit heavier because as PVC gets cold, as it gets below the 50s, down into the freezing range, the pipe will stiffen up and be less flexible. You'll note that it feels a little heavier than it normally would. And if it's too cold, if it's way too cold, if it was like, you know, down into the teens or below, we wouldn't be doing this because the thing would just break apart in my hand like a fucking popsicle. I'm sorry if you're worried about language. Like when you would be out camping in the winter, you would wrap your bow and you would keep it near the fire, not so near that it's going to get hot,
right,
but just enough that it stays warm.
Interesting.
And you don't want your bow to get too cold.
Nice.
This is a bow I made back in the spring. You can see the paint's a little chipped up. One of the great things about PVC is you can finish these things any way you want. You can have just the bare bow without any kind of finish on it and it still be a functioning weapon, but as I said about the temperature, apart from cold, sunlight is also bad for PVC. If you leave a piece of pipe out in the broad light of day for too long, a lot of people leave it out there in their backyards for months at a time before they use it. It'll change from white to yellow, and when that happens, it's chemically it's changed. It's gotten brittle. You don't want to use yellow pipe.
Okay.
And you also want to always put some sort of a covering on whatever bow you make. Once you put a layer of spray paint or duct tape or a cloth sock, anything on it, and that keeps the sun off, it's fine. And you can use all kinds of different paints. This is just a spray paint finish with a little bit of clear coat over it, but well, that's kind of come undone. And this is a heavier bow. This bow is a shorter piece of pipe that I finished in the same fashion as that one that I showed you, my mom's. And this one pulls about 45 pounds at 28 inches, which, as we mentioned earlier, is about the kind of weight you want to use when you kill stuff. It's still a pretty primitive setup. There's no arrow rest. I'm just firing off my hand. And as I said about the cold, you'll notice that it's creaking as I pull. That creak is not nice. Another reason that this bow is creaking is that this is a takedown bow. These different color sections here are not only decorative, they allow me to take the bow apart into 3 pieces and pack it up and take it wherever I want in a smaller package.
That sounds perfect for me.
Oh yeah. It is a pretty handy thing to be able to do.
So you could actually stow that in a backpack.
Yep.
Hey, go ahead and show us how to break that bow down.
Okay, so first we're going to unstring the bow. We'll go ahead. All right, let's start over. You can edit it out. Okay, first we're going to go ahead and unstring this bow. To do that, we go ahead and rest the recurve up against your shin. Don't put it down in the dirt. Don't push it into the earth. Step through. Put your thigh right there in the middle. Pull it. Very easy. Okay. Drop our string over here. And then, as I said, it's kind of cold, so this pipe is going to be a little bit up and... Oh, no, it's not. It comes right apart.
There you go.
Okay. And now, this will fit much more easily in whatever bag you happen to have.
Beautiful.
Get over here.
This is Eric with the Post-Apoc and Chris with Tenshi Risu, a.k.a. Angel Squirrel. Thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
Hey, we having a party? What's going on, man?
Nice.
We're videoing an interview.
Yeah, it was going so well.
Everybody, you know my brother Eli?